Hello there, welcome to the Air Gun Gear Show. Now I've followed this gun around the world for the last 12 months. I've seen it a couple of times in America in its high power format, and I've seen it in Germany. And now thankfully the sensible guys at Cheshire Gun Room are importing the Kalibrgun Crickets. Now they come in at firearms ticket power, and Sam, the gunsmith in the shop, whittles his magic and twizzles them down so they're sub 12 foot-pound rifles. And it's a lights out monster. But one of the questions that everyone's been asking me over the last 12 months since these have started to appear in the UK is it accurate? We'll take a look at this. Let's cut to the chase and show you accuracy first. There is a story behind this rough footage. I've been waiting for a near zero wind day for 2 months. Then a couple of Sundays ago, while shooting with my friend Andrew, we realised, whoop, no wind. Well, very little wind. So I grabbed my camera and broke out the Kalibrgun, and Andrew started to load. And this is what we got. At 50 yards, with very, very little wind, Andrew gets 6.5 pellets, all in the same hole. That's a sub 1.5 inch group. Now granted, 3.5 of those pellets are outside. But let me say that again. 50 yards, 6.5 pellets, in the same hole. Now I'm going to break some news to Andrew. Andrew, brace yourself. I blame you for the 3.5 pellets that are outside that 10-shot group. Why? Because it's not the gun. It could be a slight gust of wind downrange, or it could be a bird farting. But either way, there's nothing wrong with that gun. It actually outshoots me, it outshoots Andrew, and it'll probably outshoot you too. The gun is regulated, and there are 2 methods normally chosen by manufacturers to release that golden burst of energy that sends the pellet downrange each time you pull the trigger. This only applies to PCP air rifles, but the first method is that, you know, when you pull the bolt back on the rifle, well, what you're doing is pulling back a hammer spring, and when you pull the trigger, the hammer spring flies forward, hits a pin on the back of the air chamber and lets out a squirt of air, and that sends the pellet off downrange. The second method, which is what the Kalibrgun uses, is the regulated method, and that's where part of the air cylinder actually has a specific valve in the back of it. And what that air cylinder does is it pre-charges that particular valve with the correct amount of air for when you pull the trigger. So it doesn't require the hammer spring to be incredibly accurate, because it just lets the air go whatever when it's told to. But what it means is it pre-charges the correct amount of air. And as soon as it's let its amount of air go to send the pellet down range, it automatically replaces itself with the correct amount of air. Now, I'm giving it to you in layman's terms there. I'm not trying to be overly clever and give you all whiz-bang graphics. I'm just telling you how it is. Many people say that the regulated method is far more efficient for air guns. I am not going to get into that discussion. It's a row that you guys can have out there. All I can tell you is that from a 200 bar fill on the Kalibrgun, I am getting 15 to 17 magazines worth of shots before I hit the 100 bar mark, and they're all extremely consistent. So no more looking for that mythical sweet spot or identifying where in the power curve is best to shoot, because with the Kalibrgun, it's quite big. It's between about 80 and 200 bar, and you really can't miss it. This rifle averages between 745 and 756 feet per second right through its charge from 200 down to 80, and that's using Air Arms JSB's 8.4s. Now, I did speak to someone last year who told me how important they were in the airgun industry and how I should listen to them, and how my reviews were so terrible because I never did any graphs. Now, I don't want you guys out there to miss graphs because I think they're probably very important, or so I'm told. So I've made you one. And this, as you can see here, is the feet per second up the side. And then along the bottom, I've got shot count, and I've got the bar fill as well. And as you can see, right the way through, it's basically a flat line. Other manufacturers' rifles can tend to do a bit of that. And that's the power curve. And then you get people that look for a sweet spot in there. That's not what the Kalibrgun has. Now, it's not all rosy in the world of Kalibrgun. The stock looks great, but the finishing touches, well, can be a little bit, maybe the guy making them is chisel slipped, but that's only the woodwork. The metalwork is finished to a high standard. No bells or whistles or batteries on this bullpup. Just put the air in and shoot. And it does just work. And really, it does. Yeah! 60 yards on a windy day. Woo! The deep dish trigger and guard combine heavenly, with the stock really well balanced, making the rifle easy to carry even when your arms are tired. Talking of the trigger, it's operated and connected by a rod, and it's adjustable, even though mine was perfect on arrival. And the rod gives a direct connection to the rear mechanism, so it feels like a trigger should do. Loading pellets is a doddle into one of the two supplied magazines. But I would say that loading the magazine into the gun takes practice at first. Once you get the idea, it's simple, just unusual to begin with. The rifle indexes without issue, and anything JSB passes down the barrel a dream. The Kalibrgun has got a side loading mechanism, and its safety mechanism is on the bolt being open. It won't fire. It'll only fire if you load the gun again and then push this side lever past this spring point, which is like point of no return, and in, and you can actually feel it sort of index there. Then it will fire. But if the bolt's open, it won't. Now, you will notice in the last sequence close up that the Kalibrgun will let you double load it. That's something in the future I'd like to see Kalibrgun address. The Kalibrgun in length is about 27 inches or 69 centimetres. And now you're going to ask me the weight of the Kalibrgun. And I got to admit, before I started a few months ago, I didn't weigh it without my scope on it. And I'm not taking my scope off today just to give you the weight, because it's zeroed so lovely. So check my Facebook page in the next couple of weeks and I'll give you the weight of the gun when I send it back. Oh, and by the way, I'm not paid by Cheshire Gun Room. I'm not paid by Kalibrgun. I do the videos because I enjoy air guns and I enjoy making videos. So this is a completely unpaid for and unbiased review. And I would be very grateful if you would either press the subscribe button or the like button below. Thank you. I've been testing the Kalibrgun Crickets for a while now and have fired 2.2 and 1.77 in the prepared format from Cheshire Gun Room, and both performed as well as each other. The 2.2 I tested was in the tactical black, and that was in late 2014. The gun has a slow fill. It just helps everything to settle down during the process, and its max pressure recommended by Cheshire Gun Room, as I've said before, is 200 bar. The silencer on the front really does the trick. The only report I get on firing is a click from the mechanics. It's incredibly quiet. If I show you this sequence again, just listen. The camera catches the whiz of the pellet coming, but no bang from the gun. And that's what your prey will hear. The barrel behind the silencer is well supported. No movement, nothing floaty here. So let's answer the actual question you're probably watching the video for. Can I kill things with it? Yes, you can. Certainly you can. Out to 50 yards and beyond. You can kill rabbits, pigeons, rats and squirrels with this. And I know what's just happened. I've said kill things beyond 50 yards, which means someone in the YouTube police is currently having a fit. That man on YouTube, he's just said you can shoot things further than 50 yards with an air gun. That's immoral. You mustn't do that. It's not possible. Well, actually, it is possible. If you know your holdover and you put your crosshairs in the right place, it's very possible. But I'm only saying you can do it with a Cheshire Gun Room caliber gun. There's a few of these floating around that aren't Cheshire Gun Room. And the way you can tell if it is, it's just there at the end. There's a little stamp, and that means it's been tuned and set up by Sam, which means it's going to do the business. I have to say, I've fired many air guns in my time, and if I wanted to be picky, I could say the Picatinny rail on the top is slightly too long at the front. But that's being really, really picky. You put air in, pellets, and shoot. Pellet hits what you point at, bang, lights out. This is some slow-mo footage of some 4cm spinners that I was shooting at. It's just too easy for the caliber gun. Sugar cubes, they're tiny, and at 50 yards you can only just see them, and it hits it time and time again. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've missed. Anything old school that should be in the review that I haven't put in. I know. Oh, comes up to the shoulder really well. Oh. Oh, look everyone. I got a broom. Shoulders really well. Sweep up a bit. I can fly, like a boom, boom. I've been testing the caliber gun at Braces of Bristol's new airgun range over the last couple of weeks, and the guys here have been so impressed that they've actually started selling the Cheshire Gun Room caliber gun. So if you want one and you're in the southwest, give them a call. You can always come and try the new range as well. there we are then. That's my quest for a sub 12 foot-pound calibre gun. It hits everything I want it to. It's incredibly consistent and accurate. And I guess you're probably getting fed up of me kissing this gun's arse by now. But I really do like it that much. Cheshire Gun Room, we're gonna have to talk. We gotta work something out, because I just can't let this go. That's not possible. I have to say, and I don't say it lightly, this is the most accurate and consistent PCP in my collection right now. And I've never said that before. It really is that good. And if this is what we got in 2014, bring on 2015. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.